welcome back to Milton Mo Junction. Haven't done a lot. I've been again waiting for bits to turn up, and some have arrived. My lights have arrived that I ordered, so one of which was another one of these lights to put here. So you may have seen in the title sequence that I've put that in position. What you can see is I've lowered it a little bit to give a bit of perspective, but it's the same light, but as I say, I've lowered it so that it looks a little bit further away. That's the only light I've actually put in. I've ordered some, well, I've got some yard lights, but they're going to go down this end, and I've done a little bit of work down here, so I'll show you what I've done. Hang on a sec, and we'll just come back down here. Right, I've got a bit of foam board down to roughly the shape that I want to make a stone block yard. I was going to have some rough gravel, but I thought if I'm going to have a digger scraping along, it's probably going to be easier for it to have a hard surface underneath. So my idea was to put some stone blocks, as if this area was an old area that's been blocked and is now just used for coal or whatever. It doesn't really matter, the back story. But these are not the stone blocks I've ordered, but the problem is the thickness. Obviously this is an old, they're wheels stone blocks I've decided to go for, and see how I can get on with those. Now they are the same thickness as this old stone wall, because that's a piece of wheels stone wall. So I'm trying to judge what thickness I need. Now what I think I can do is cut out, obviously I'm going to use this foam board for the shape. I'm going to cut out another piece of foam board, the same piece on top. If I go up like that, that works out about the same height I need, but of course I don't need a big sheet of foam board. I only need some strips probably to cover up the edges, because they're all going to be covered by the plastic blocks, so it's pointless wasting lots of foam board. I'll probably put in a couple of strips on the either edge to layer it. As long as all this is raised at the same height, you won't ever see the foam board anyway. And what I intend to do is infill some of the blocks with some coal dust, etc., so that the coal dust would have got into the side of the blocks anyway. I've got to paint the blocks because I think they come as brown, or I'm not sure, light grey, can't remember now, but I'm going to have to paint them and weather them, and as I say, make them look pretty old, and hopefully I'll show you when I've done a bit more work. So bye for now. Okay, well I haven't done anything more there. I'm still waiting for the wheels plastic block kits to make the blocks, or the sheets of blocks to put there, so can't really do much more there properly. So I've decided to work a little bit more down this end and perhaps work up to it. So what I've done here is I've made the mound. That's pretty much a bit of shaper sheet over a bit of foam, and the plaster bandage over the top of it. I've only just completed that, so the bandage is still wet. Once that's dried, I shall start scenery in this bit here, because there's not much more to do. I need to get hold of a sleeper. I'll have to get a real model sleeper, because you can't really use the ones off the track, I don't think, because of they've got the metal work on them, and of course if you cut that off you're left with a hole, which is not really very realistic. I mean, I can cover it up on these ones because they'll be so heavily weathered it won't matter. I'm not sure I can do it on here, but we'll have a look, see what I can get up to. If I can't get a dummy sleeper from somewhere, an O gauge one, I might have to adapt one of the ones we've got there, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, the rest of it, I want to build in about here where that piece of paper is, about that size, so I might move it around a bit. I just want it as a hut, the yard hut really, where people working on the sidings can pop in and out of when they're not working. So yeah, I mean, I'm just going to potter along at this. Of course, I still need to build the water hose from on this, and also a little crane to load the coal, but they need building from the kit and painting, so I need to do that. And I'm also thinking of, while I'm working on things like that, I'm going to build the Pico telegraph poles and paint those and put them somewhere on this side. There's only 4, so I'm going to stretch them out across here as if they disappear into the background, and off scene at this end, so you'll see how that looks once I've built those. So I'll continue on with little bits and pieces and come back to you when I've done a bit more. Right, what I've decided to do next is ballast everything that I hadn't done, apart from where it's going to go really into the coal yard. And the only reason I don't want to do that is because it will muck up the me laying the plastics, etc. And so I've left those, but apart from that I'm going to do everything. What I've tried is a mixture of ordinary grey ballast that I've been using, plus a mixture of cinders sprinkled on top and sort of put in it. But what I find is that it doesn't mix particularly well, and I want probably more cinders type finish than ballast. So what I found was that if I do it after it's dry, because this bit here was dry, and I've started having a little look at see what it's going to look like, but once the ballast is dry, after I've glued it all down, I can put the cinders on top and just brush it on and then re-glue it, and it seems to be a better mix than trying to mix it dry. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm just going to glue all this lot, and then when that's dry I'll sprinkle on some more cinder type ballast, because this is supposed to represent coal, of course, or coal dust, and see how it goes from there. So see you a bit later. Carrying on, I've just quickly painted the mound of earth, so I'll carry on now and do a bit of scenery and come back very quickly and show you what I've done. See you in a minute. Okay, I've continued with this bit, and just waiting for some glue to dry around here mainly, but I will, on that bit that glue's drying, I've left it open at the moment because I want to put some static grass, and because it'll be an area where there's not much work done, or not many people walking on it, so I thought I'd just put quite a lot of static grass on the old sleepers and where the old track went. So I'll do that later when this current glue's dried, where I've been putting the other greenery down. So I'll wait, as I say, I'll wait for that to dry, and then I'll put some static grass with some fresh glue. And need to do a second coat on the wood there, and I've done up as far as the coaling stage, but I'll show you when I've done a bit more. I probably won't actually put the sleeper there at the moment because I haven't got one. I might even put a light, so that'll be something else I need to purchase. So hopefully I'll finish it apart from that, and sort of show you what I've done later. So I'll see you shortly. Okay, I've finished this little area for the time being. Not as pleased as I was hoping to be with the static grass over the sleepers. As much as I tried, it's done a sort of quite a big coverage. I was hoping more of the sleepers would show through, but saying that, it's not too bad. If I hadn't built the track there in the first place, it would certainly look a little bit different. And it is raised, and there are distinct marks where the old sleepers are, so yeah, I guess that's as good as I probably could have got it. But obviously there's still the sleeper I talked about to go on the track by the mound, and possibly a light, but they'll all be little add-ons that I can do later. Most of the work on this area is done. Of course we haven't weathered the track yet, but I'm hoping to get everything done and weather the track at the last thing on this side, so that I don't have to spray too much and too often. Just get the whole lot done in one hit. I'll probably end the video now because it'll get too long, and also I can't see myself completing any work in the short future anyway, because I'm still waiting for some bits at the other end, as I've already mentioned, if you can see it from all the bottles out. But yeah, I can't do anything there really until I've got the blocks that I'm waiting for. And try and pan this slowly. At the other end, I'm busy trying to work on some little bits and pieces. I'm trying to build the telegraph poles, but I need to spray paint those. And having had previous experience of spraying out of cans up here, well, not up here in the conservatory, everything gets covered. You don't really realise how the spray dissipates over everything, much to my wife's annoyance. So I need to matte black those, I think, in the first instance. And I'm also building up the bits and pieces to go on here, the water fountain and the crane, and they're taking a little bit of work, but I need to paint those as well, so that's going to be a stretched out bit of work. So I'm going to close this video now and wait for my next one. Perhaps it will be my 50th YouTube video, so I might do something slightly different with that. We'll see. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Any comments, please feel free, and subscribe if you wish. Anyway, that's about it for now, so I'll say bye. Bye for now.